Hello again, folks. It's time for another Zero video. We've taken a bit of a backseat the last few days, but today I'm going to be showing off some of the new decks that we have from this latest set, and I do have quite a few to show off, but the main focus for today will be on Pale Moon. The reason why I'm doing Pale Moon instead of DP first is basically because people asked me to, and I guess it's a bit harder to explain Pale Moon because there's a lot of builds, and also because there's a lot of like random combos and stuff that new players might not be so familiar with, and also DP I feel like is just easier to play. Maybe not to build, so I'm gonna get the DP video out like next week, in like Monday next week or something like that. But today we're gonna be just taking a look at Pale Moon, and I have two lists that I want to show you. One of them should not be used for deck building purposes, but it should be used to show you like where I went with the deck building process and how I learned about the deck. So this was my first build, and please don't copy this because it's not good. Spoiler alert, it's just not a good list. So basically, this was the list I had. Initially I only had 3 purple trapezists. I do have 4 now, and spoiler alert, this deck is expensive. You need a lot of foils for this deck, and it's pretty pricey, but let me go over some of the mistakes I made with this build. So in this build, I was like, oh, I can make combos, I can build up my soul. So I was like, I'm going to ride Robert first, which lets me soul charge a card every turn and check the top card of my deck and put it on top or bottom, as well as field nuke all grade 1s on the opponent's board for his Magna Blast. But so I was like, oh, I can spend a couple turns to build up my soul, then go into Golden Beast Tamer, whose skill is during your turn, your front or rear guards get plus 3k. She has restraint, but then you just have to Soul Blast 2 once while she's on Vanguard Circle in the whole game, and she will basically lose the restraint. And then she has a second skill where when you ride her, you can call a Chimera from your soul. So there's several Chimeras. She's a Chimera. She's it is a Chimera, and that's actually it. So you have 2 different Chimeras, and there's also grade 3 Chimera on top of that you can call. But there's that too. And then on top of that, you have Alice, which is basically your combo maker. When her attack hits a Vanguard, you counter plus 1, put her into your soul, and call out a card from your soul that isn't Alice. So I was like, I can do combos. I can use Crimson Beast Tamer, who says if you have a Crimson Beast Tamer in your soul, then she gets plus 3k during your turn. And I was like, I can make them 15k with Golden Beast Tamer's effect and all that stuff, and then use Purple Trapezist for combos. So the reason why this build didn't work is because it was just too slow. I wanted to do too much in a game that's really fast. I ran like 9 draws and everything, and I still do. I think 9 draws is correct for Pale Moon, but this is the real build. This is the build that actually went from like Legend 0 to Legend 7 with, I think, and then I got tired of playing it, simply because it takes quite a bit of time, and like I really enjoy Pale Moon, but I wanted to go back to playing DP after playing this for a while. And so this is the list that I arrived at, basically, and let me now explain everything. So 4 purple trapezist. I've pulled 4 actually, but I crafted 1 when I had only 1, and so I've pulled 1 really recently, like, just as an extra. But purple trapezist skill is on place, not on place from soul. I think that skill has changed a little bit. It used to be when you place it from soul. Now it's just when you place on a rearguard circle, choose one of your other rearguards and put it into your soul, and then from your soul call a rearguard that isn't purple trapezist. So this skill is really good because even if, like for example, what you can do before you start doing the soul plays is essentially call out something like the Nitro Juggler, who has a skill on place Soul Charge 1, and simply place it, Soul Charge, use Purple Trapezist, put it in, put it out, Soul Charge again. That way you have enough random soul to Soul Blast for the Golden Beast Tamer's Soul Blast cost. Then we also started running the Skull Juggler, who has the exact same effect, so for the same use, the random soul charges are really important, because the reason for this deck, the reason for the change in focus and that there's no of the other grade 3 is that Golden Beast Tamer is your first and only ride. You will only ride her, and that's it, because her 3k power bonus is so important. Yes, her restraint kind of sucks, because if you don't get your soul charge cards, you will actually have to soul blast like your starting grade 1s and 2s, and therefore you'll have no soul actually if you don't draw your soul charge cards. But that's okay, because her plus 3k buff, like, you just win by being a beat stick deck basically, but having huge beat sticks and having like a bunch of good skills on top of that. So it's honestly pretty fine, and I really don't think it's that bad. So then, yeah, Alice then we have the same skill but on a grade 2, which is the Mirror Demon. So literally the exact same skill, except you can't call Mirror Demon. And then we have 2 of the Midnight Bunny, which again is the same skill except on boost, and then you can't call the Midnight Bunny. So then The reason why I run Crimson Beast Tamer is because essentially either run Crimson Beast Tamer or you run Jumping Jill. But you only run Crimson Beast Tamer if you have 4. If you only have 2 or 3 Crimson Beast Tamer, then run 4 Jill. Or 3 Jill. If you don't have enough Alices, you can run more Mirror Demons, for example. But it's really important to run 4 of the Barking Kerberos, simply because he's the main call target when you ride the Golden Beast Tamer. So it's really, really important for that reason, and basically that's like your main way of just getting free pluses, essentially. This is a good backup ride. When you have 6 or more souls, she gets plus 1k permanently, so even on your opponent's turn. And then on place, Counterblast 2, call any card from your soul. And then you'll notice one new thing, which is this Dark Lord of Pale Moon. Now his skill is Vanguard Rearguard Circle. When he is boosted, he gets plus 3k. Now you might be thinking, why is that even worth playing? Like, how is this even good? This is good because, so he's 10k, 13k with Golden Beast Tamer, and then let's say our lowest boost is a 6k. So let's say he's 13 on his with the Golden Beast Tamer, then plus 6, so 19, plus his own skill, 22, hits over defensives. Literally, that's the purpose. Because, as I said, sometimes you have to rely on this deck just being a beat stick deck. And cards like this do it really well. And so that's kind of the big strength of the deck. And as you'll notice, I switched the starter from the Soul Charge starter to the Grade 3 Searcher simply because, like, outside of the Dark Lord of Pale Moon, the only reason why I don't want to search him is because he's a heal. But every other Grade 3 is a draw, which we don't mind losing from the deck. And every other Grade 3 is good to draw into. Like, on Grade 2, if you don't have a Golden Beast Tamer, you use it to look for a Golden Beast Tamer. But if you don't have an Alice, you'll use it to look for an Alice, because Alice is your main combo starter. Like, your basic combo pattern is like Alice, or for example, like Alice, bring out, I don't know, let's say you have an open Grade 1 slot in the back, or like then you basically call out Purple Trapezist. Purple Trapezist sucks up whatever other rearguard is resting, and then calls out another Alice, and then she can swing again with the boost behind her that hasn't boosted, or with the Purple Trapezist that you've called out. So there's a bunch of small plays like that that you can do. And also I noticed that my hair has a random standing part here, but alas. Anyway, so those are the main combos, and I just want to show that off in this video. So this really is like Golden Beast Tamer and friends, and I haven't switched to the Valentine's skin yet, so let me do that just now. And also the sleeves, you know, we gotta stand hard. But so I'm gonna show off just one game with this deck, because it takes quite a long while to play. One thing I love is that for Pale Moon they do show Lukier as the main card, so her release should be imminent, and Pale Moon will definitely get even better when she does release. So looks like we're playing against a Nova player. Now, Novas are very notorious in this meta and quite difficult to play against, because they just kind of crit you early, and you can't, like, you know, you need to draw into your PGs and stuff like that. So here we have an interesting hand where we can basically do like this. We can search out our Grade 3, so it's more or less okay. Early Soul Charge is important. We might Soul Charge into the Manticore, and keeping the Purple Trapeze is good for combo starting. So here we draw another PG, which is also good. We also have a Midnight Bunny to start combos, so that's also very nice. And we are going first. We draw into an Alice, so that's okay. Let's say hello to our opponent. Alright, so let's ride into the Purple Trapezist. If possible, you want to ride into Purple Trapezist turn 1, because having her in Soul means that it'll be an easy way to do your combos after whatever hits, basically. So that's kind of the approach we're taking here, and I think it's pretty normal. I think a lot of Pale Moon players will know that this is how you kind of go about it. Also, if you hear random clicking in the background, that's because there is an event in Grand Blue Fantasy going on that I kind of need to grind until the last second, and it's ending in an hour, and therefore I'm kind of multitasking. But anyway, so we're going to trade our first blows here. Going to take our first damage, nothing too special. We draw another Alice, which is okay. We're going to ride this Nitro Juggler here, see what we Soul Charge. Alright, it's that Manticore lady. So we're going to use the Grade 3 Searcher here to see if we can find a Golden Beast Tamer, and we find our SP one. So it's definitely nice. So we're already set up for next turn. And keep in mind that the Soul Blast in this game works in the sense that it Soul Blasts your most recent cards. You can't select your Soul Blast, which sucks, but it basically selects whatever was most recently put into your soul. So it'll Soul Blast the Grade 3 Searcher as well as the one Grade 3 we Soul Charge. So we don't mind that being Soul Charged at all. So a bit of a slow start. Usually I'm a bit more aggressive in the early game, but we haven't really had many pieces, and I don't really want to Soul Blast anything from here. So that's why I kept my hand, basically. But next turn we can blow up a fair bit simply because we have the Alice, so we're able to do quite a bit of stuff with that. So should be pretty good. We'll see how far our opponent chooses to push us here, but oh, looks like he's going for the Street Bouncer. He's going to be able to rest it and the grade 1 behind it to... Oh, actually they changed the effect. It's not the same column. You can rest just any other rear guard. So, oh, he's just going to go power draw through a bunch, just resting a whole lot, and then he's going to be able to draw an extra 2 cards, so that's nice. And then he has 2 intercepts set up on the board as well. So we're going to be taking just 1 damage, but that still means we can do a fair bit with it. We get a draw as well, so that helps us draw into our pieces. That's the main reason why we run draws. But yeah, so here we're going to be able to ride now into the Golden Beast Tamer, and we're going to Soul Blast 2 for the Restraint, and then Knight or Juggler will give us some kind of soul. We'll take a look. Ooh, Crimson Beast Tamer is nice. Alright, so we go into the Golden Beast Tamer. Sadly, no animation for her. Crimson Beast Tamer has an animation though. This gets called out because it is a Manticore, and so now we need to get a random soul charge off from this Nitro. Just thinking where I want to call it. I think I'll call it here. Let's see what this random soul charge is. It's a PG, which is absolutely perfect. So now we get to Soul Blast the grade 0 and the PG. Literally 2 useless cards. And just like that, we'll be good to go. So, what we're going to do here... I'm thinking how I should be doing this. Because I think what I want to do is go swing at rear with Vanguard. And then swing at rear with this. And then Alice will go face, pop out a purple Trapezist, put the Manticore in the soul, and then call out the... Okay, we got a game plan. Alright, let's go. So we first swing at rear like this. Vanguard almost always swings at rear in this deck, actually. So we get double nothing. I think that was double Mirror Demon. Nothing too amazing. So here we're going to swing at rear, just to trade it away. And so now what we're going to be able to do is go in with this Alice to swing for 13. And then here, I'm going to use the purple Trapezes, but I'm debating if I want to call it... I think I just want to call it in the front row, so I can still attack with it, because he didn't get a defensive, and we don't have any more counterballs to use anyway. So I'll just go to the front. It will die, but that's actually pretty okay. So here, we're going to just do this, soul in. We have a 7k booster, and if I take a 12, it's going to be... Okay, it doesn't make a difference. So yeah, we should take the grade 2 so we get an intercept and an extra soul to use for later as well. Could always be a purple Trapezist. It's a heal. That's okay. So here we're just going to swing like this. And then pray he doesn't get a defensive. He does, and he actually heals, which kind of hurts. That is one of the problems with this deck, is that defensives basically shut you down, so we just have to pass turn like this. If you don't have the Lord of Pale Moon. So Lord of Pale Moon is pretty important, as you can see. He goes for a Sure Kaiser, which means we won't be seeing too much crit pressure at the very least, so that's definitely very good. Because that does hurt a lot for this deck, is if you just get critted early and don't have too much control over it, then, you know, it hurts. But regardless, we're doing pretty okay so far. He gets another Street Bouncer. That's really lucky, is what I can say to that, honestly. Definitely strong plays. Rests those two. He knows that he can just trade the rears as they are without the boost, so... He can also restand the grade 1 with a Sure Kaiser if he gets himself a extra trigger on that drive check. So we're going to see if that pulls through. Our purple Trapezes will die, but I put it there for the sake of that, so not a surprise to us. Let's see, he gets a draw. Looks like he's playing some budget Mr. Invincible Sure Kaiser deck. Quite interesting. Well, I guess a Sure Kaiser isn't that budget, but you know. Alright, so he's going to restand that one. Ooh, double stand. I bet he wishes he stood the other column now. I guess it doesn't make a difference. It hits for the same number anyway. So he just wants to put the power in the King of Sword at this point. So he can hit me for up to 4 damage. Will take me up to 4 damage this turn. Yeah, that's definitely the place where you put that trigger. Alright, so he's just going to swing, hit us for damage. There's a Purple Trapezist. No big deal though. We have quite a few plays we can still make. And that's the important part. We get a draw though. That's very nice. Into a Golden Beast Tamer, that's not so nice. That's the one thing, is that the card is kind of dead in hand, because you never want to have it on rear, because it's just another 2 Soul Blast, and it just kind of hurts. We draw a 3rd PG, which is also nice. And now I have to think about my game plan here this turn. So we're going to swing at rear there again. I guess we can do the same thing as last turn. Except I can maybe chain another Alice. because I have the counterblast for it. So I guess we can try like that. Let's see where it gets us for now. As you can see here, Crimson Beast Tamer is just a 12k because we don't have one in Soul, but that's no big deal. We get a heal, that's good. Now I have to think. I might just do Alice into Dark Lord of Pale Moon. Or Alice into the Barking and then into the Dark Lord, maybe? No, that doesn't work. Aw. I guess I'll put it here. Yeah, it's the trigger. The way usually you apply triggers to the back row in this deck simply because of the way that the combos work. Because here you'll see I'll swing with this 13k Alice unboosted because I want to keep the boost alive for the next battle. There's a PG, which is pretty nice. Okay, I don't need the Dark Lord of Pale Moon yet, so I think I'll just go for this Manticore here. So we'll basically just pop in, pop out. Like, I could have maybe placed my rear guards differently, and then I could have done a bit more damage, because then I could have maybe put the rear guard the other lane, and then basically boosted with the Midnight Bunny to then call out another rear on this side. So I could have maybe pushed out one more attack, but if he gets a defensive here, then that would have made... Okay, so if he didn't get a defensive, then that means I could have actually extended a bit more, but then that would have meant losing my grade 2, which I value quite a lot. Even with 3 PGs in hand, it's pretty valuable, that, you know, an asset I don't want to lose, but he just keeps on pushing. So let's see. We're going to go to 5 probably this turn, I would assume, but we have 3 PGs, so I'm not really panicking or anything. But we'll see where Lady Luck takes us. So we're going to take a damage. One of the downsides of this deck is that you do sit on a 10k base, which, you know, after playing DP a lot, I'm not too used to again. He does get a draw, so it does confirm that he plays Perfect Riser at least. And he's going to be able to restand, so going to take us to 5, and one of our PGs will also go to hell. Alright. Ooh, we get a heal, that's good, so I guess our PGs will stay intact. That's pretty important. That means he's going to attack my rear, which I don't mind, actually. That's pretty okay. Depends on what I draw here, though. Because he's been keeping up his intercepts pretty well, but quite a few of his PGs have dropped in. Ah, that's not a draw, that's not a draw. That's definitely not a draw. See, the strong part here is that you can do this and it becomes a 10k. And what I'm thinking is essentially placing one of my Golden Beast Tamers, Soul Blasting 2. I still have an Alice left in, so then I can still do stuff. I think that's what I have to do. So we're gonna release her Restraint. We still have an Alice in the deck, so it's fine. And I will battle basically. And then this will trade into a rear, and then the Juggler will trade into a rear. And then the last attack will go face. Ah, but it's not really worth it, because I can't actually hit. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. Because it's actually not worth, because I can't get over any numbers. I would have had to call down one of my PGs, which like sometimes is worth it, but I feel like I can still survive another turn. And he gets a defensive, so nothing would have hit anyway. So for now, that's fine. For now, that's fine. So we've taken him to 5, and if he doesn't heal now, which I mean he has a pretty high chance of doing, we will basically be in a position where we can pressure him a lot, and actually we will win if he doesn't heal, because he's had 2 PGs revealed already, and I think he drive checked one earlier, I'm not sure. But we'll see. So, ooh, goes for the Perfect Riser, going to be pressuring us with that crit. He's going to eat up this board probably for the extra effect, and this is the promo Perfect Riser that you get from, you know, chasing Legend rank this season. Alright, so calls down the high-powered. Ooh, it's going to be pretty big. Does he have another grade 2? He does not. That is good to see. That actually gives me a pretty good winning chance. That means I can basically call down anything I need to secure the win. We're going to take this 1 damage. We'll only have 2 draws, 1 draw left in deck and 1 heal, so I don't expect triggers to come down anywhere. So we're going to see a couple PGs trigger here, but no restands, so therefore I'll still have a PG left in hand, and he's going to keep my board intact, which is also important, and that way we're able to actually push a fair bit. So Alright, second check. No heals. That's really important. That's really, really, really important. So PG triggers. And then I think we should be able to close out the game here. So I'm not able to show off too many cool like purple trapezes combos outside of like that first grade 3 turn. But, you know, I'm still trying to show off some stuff here and there. Okay, we got a grade 2. That's good too. Right, skip. And let's do like that. Alright. I guess we just battle. So we're going to trade into this rear as usual. So this is why also you don't run stands, because you usually attack Vanguard first. I did try stands though, I tried quite a few different trigger lineups, but as you can see it's an interesting turn of things. So here this will definitely trigger a PG, but now the question is, does he have a second one in hand? Because he only has one left, and we're going to boost to see if he does. Ah, he does actually have it! Yikes, man! He actually had his other 2 PGs. We still have a heal and an intercept, but the thing is that he'll swing at my rear, and then he'll swing for 1 damage with the rear, which will trigger my PG, and then he'll swing with a crit Vanguard, which will not trigger a PG, and therefore I will be taking a 2 damage to the face that I cannot be healed out of, and therefore we lose. But alas, I mean, that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess. So here PG triggers, and then he attacks with a crit, and even if I heal, I don't win. So that's unfortunate. Well, let's just see if we do see a heal here. Yeah, all 4 of my PGs are gone, and so are his. It was definitely a close match. Alright, let's just quickly lose here. Alright, so that didn't go too well. So, that first game was not, you know, the best showing of the deck, maybe. I mean, I guess I showed off what the deck can do combo-wise, but we still, we didn't manage to win simply because of the PGs. I did play an extra game that I recorded, but I did win because the opponent scooped, but I made a lot of misplays, so I don't feel proud in showing that off either. But the deck is definitely very capable, and you can adjust it to your budget as well, but it is quite tricky to play. And I mean, I took it to Legend 7 and then kind of got tired a little bit. And then I started basically playing through with DP, which I'll cover next. But yeah, so Pale Moon is definitely very fun. Do try it out for yourself. If you've pulled a lot of it, then it's super worth it. And I hope I explained the kind of deck choices and what the deck can do. It just kind of adapts to different scenarios and whatever your opponent throws at you, less so than, you know, making huge combos like, you know, Magia did in G era, for example. So it's a lot more of just like doing combos based on the resources that your opponent gives you. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video and it, you know, taught you something new. But on that note, that's going to be it for it today. Thank you so much to those of you that have become channel members. If you want to join, the button is next to the subscribe button down there. And then, as always, feel free to check out all the stuff in the description and all that good stuff. But on that note, that's going to be it for me today. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.